The Tulsa Oilers football team has found its man. Less than a week after unveiling the team's name, colors, and logo, the new Indoor Football League expansion franchise, which shares ownership with the Tulsa Oilers Hockey Club, introduced Marvin Jones as its first head coach and director of football operations on Wednesday afternoon at the BOK Center. Jones is a former college football star at Florida State who played 11 years in the NFL with the New York Jets, before more recently getting involved in coaching indoor football. He had spent the previous 3 years as the head coach of the Omaha Beef of the CIF, Champions Indoor Football, an indoor football league one rung below the IFL, winning the league championship in 2021. I am grateful for the opportunity to serve as the first head coach for the Tulsa Oilers football team for its inaugural season, Jones said. I am very excited to put together a competitive team for its growing fan base. Tulsa has a rich sport history and inspires us to be worthy extension of its legacy through the Oilers team. I am looking forward to gathering football talent in Northeast Oklahoma. We look forward to interacting with the fans and creating a long-lasting relationship for Oilers owner Andy Scurto. Jones was a natural fit to lead his new football team, fulfilling all the criteria he was looking for. We obviously wanted somebody with a football background. We wanted to make sure they understand the game, Scurto said. His recruiting power is going to be really powerful because he's an 11-year veteran in the NFL. He's going to get players to want to play for him. So he's really good at recruiting. He's got experience as a head coach in indoor football. He knows the game. The other important component was hiring someone that sought to enmesh the team within the local community. He really said the right things when we talked about, what are you looking for in players? Scurto said. It was very much community. They've got to be the right guys. They've got to be a family. We've got to be in the schools and the hospitals. He wants the same things we want in a team. So it was just the best match for us. He had the background, he has the history, he's got the leadership skills and everything. He'll have players in the schools, reading to kids. So for me, that's something that I've always believed in, Jones added. I want the players out in the community. That's one of the biggest things I preach to the players. We're here to be part of the community and make them proud of us. Jones, 50, has an impressive background in the sport. Growing up in Miami, Florida, Jones attended Miami Northwestern High School, the same school that produced current NFL players Amari and Teddy Bridgewater, as well as numerous others in the past. He went on to play at Florida State, although he does remember coming to Norman on a recruiting visit with the Sooners a long time ago, and starred as a linebacker there, winning the Butkus Award as the nation's top linebacker and Sporting News College Football Player of the Year in 1992. The Seminoles inducted him into the FSU Hall of Fame in 2000, and he was named to the College Football Hall of Fame as part of its 2022 class. He was selected by the New York Jets with the 4th overall pick in the 1993 NFL Draft and spent 11 years with them, playing in 142 NFL games and compiling 10 forced fumbles, 8 fumble recoveries, 9 sacks, and 5 interceptions. Jones began his coaching career in 2014 as an assistant in another lower-level indoor football league, working his way up to becoming defensive coordinator and later interim head coach for the IFL's Colorado Crush in 2017. He then became head coach of the IFL's Cedar Rapids Titans in 2018, before moving over to Omaha of the CIF in 2019, first as defensive coordinator that first year, then becoming head coach. After 2020 was wiped out due to COVID-19, Jones led the Beef to the CIF championship game in each of the last 2 seasons. I've never known anything but the playoffs, so hopefully, I can keep that going, Jones said. Jones has also served as an intern coach in the NFL, 2016 with the Jets, and still acts as the defensive coordinator for the Spiral Tropic Bowl game in Daytona, Florida, a type of college all-star game that showcases players for NFL and CFL scouts. On top of that, his son Marvin Jr. is a freshman playing for defending NCAA national champion Georgia, so he has knowledge of multiple different levels of football in order to recruit players. Jones is confident that he can draw a lot of talented people from Oklahoma. I think one of the greatest things is obviously bring in some local talent, Jones said. It would be awesome to have some assistant coaches that are from the area, too. I know that there's a lot of talent in Oklahoma. There's a guy that was an Oklahoma Sooner that I would love to sign, so there's so much talent in the backyard here, it's unbelievable. The recruiting job starts immediately, as Jones hopes to hold an open tryout in October. I have my eyes on having a tryout and seeing how many people show up, he said. I think that's definitely the best way. Me being around the scene, I do know a lot of guys that have been in the area, that have moved to the area, that have some really good talent that I already know. I got about 5 guys that I already know that I'm going to bring in.